Hi there, it's me. I'm here for another Heart to Heart. And my penny heart to heart is when I pop in here live and talk to you about the writing that I posted for the week. I posted just yesterday a writing called Important Enough. And I actually wrote it in my head while I was laying in bed. And the writing is about being sick. So a couple days ago, I was not well, and it hit me pretty quickly, and it caught me off guard, as sometimes the flu does. And I wanted to argue with it a little bit and not admit that I was sick. And I realized I do this a lot because I'm very busy. I'm too busy and have too many things to do to be sick. So I never get sick. Actually, I don't get sick very often. And the reality is, even if I don't feel well, I don't admit it very often. And I just keep pushing through. I'm a little trooper. I keep pushing through, and I will ignore a headache, and I will ignore a cold. And sometimes I'll even ignore the flu a little bit if I can get away with it, just to keep going and get everything done and do all my commitments and live my life the way I want to live my life, because I hate being sick. I'm sure all of us agree on that. And we don't have time to be sick. Our lives are so busy, and we have such a hustle bustle, and we're going this way and going that way, and we've got commitments and people depending on us. And so being sick does not fit in our time frame. And our scheduled life is so to the minute of to-dos and things that we have to get done that there is no time to take a day off to be sick. I bet all of you agree with me on that. And so I am the queen of ignoring it and never listening to my body and saying, oh, maybe I just need to take the day off. But a couple days ago, I didn't have a choice. I became pretty sick pretty quickly. And I thought I was out and about, and I had a whole list of to-dos. And I was actually headed to the grocery store, and I decided maybe I should go home for an hour. I would just lay down for an hour, and then I would be fine. And as I laid down, it started to go through my head how I should write about this, because I don't very often just lay down, and I don't very often lay down for very long. My husband was out of town, and I called him and told him I was just going to lay down for an hour. And he said, why just an hour? If you don't feel good, just go to bed until you feel better. Well, that concept was foreign to me, because I thought, no, I don't have time for that. I can do an hour. I can lay down for an hour. Well, after an hour, I didn't feel better. I felt worse. And after 2 hours, I felt worse. And I laid there and realized I was really going to do it this time. I was just going to give in. I was going to concede. I was going to lay in bed until I felt better. And so I sunk into my bed, and my pillow felt amazing and disappeared for about 7 hours. And after 7 hours, I tried the hot tea and toast and ended up back in bed for about 12 hours. And the next day, I could make it to the couch, and I laid on the couch all day. So I really did allow my body the time to recoup and restore and heal, which doesn't happen very often with me. And I realize that many of us do that. And why? I've written, and one of my key points that I speak about is feeling good enough to be here, and good enough and deserving enough to be in this life and be loved, and to be love. Give love. So I realized that played hand in hand with what I was doing. I didn't feel I was important enough to take care of. I take care of everybody else, and I'm the queen caretaker. I will be at your side in a moment if you need me and if you're sick, and I take care of everybody else, but I'm not good at taking care of myself in those times when I'm not feeling great. And maybe it was because I didn't feel like I was important enough, that my body wasn't important enough to take care of my body, and I wasn't important enough to take care of. And so for 2 days, as I laid in bed, that thought kept crossing my mind, and how I needed to share this, because I don't think I'm alone in this. I think a lot of us do this. I think a lot of us don't take time to take care of ourselves. We're so busy taking care of everybody else. So that's why I wrote important enough to emphasize to you that I am important enough to take care of, and so are you. And I hope it resonates with you the next time you're not feeling well, that you realize that the world can stop, that you can say no to a couple of commitments, because there's always tomorrow or the day after. Those things will still happen. You can say no and take care of yourself. And now I feel great, and I'm on the way to feeling perfect, and the flu is behind me, and I think it's because I took the time to take care of me. That is why I wrote important enough. So today I hope you think about this, and I hope you realize that you are important enough and you are good enough. I always say you're good enough to love and be loved, and that's what we all want. And so by taking care of ourselves, we're loving ourselves. I hope you have a great day. I will be doing another live later this week, and I hope you join me for that. I'm Penny Hunt. This has been Penny Heart to Heart. Thanks for listening.